Okay, so last little module of theory or explanation about some of the road safety audit, administration management, legal liability issues for both auditors and those commissioning audits. And so I'll jump into that now. I'm talking about, I suppose, Victoria, South Australia, New South Wales, Northern Territory, Queensland, Tasmania, of course, as well. I'm not sure why I haven't put Tassie on there, but really not Western Australia. Slightly different things going on in Western Australia, I suppose in many senses, but especially associated with road safety auditing. I'm going to, through this very short module, I'm going to talk to you about accreditation as a road safety auditor. So what is this qualification you get, and what can you sort of do, and are there extra steps? We're going to talk about that for Victoria, South Australia, also New South Wales and Queensland. I should add them to the list. And we're going to talk about some of the legal liability issues. So I'm going to start with those legal liability issues. And I'm talking here from the perspective of cases I've been involved in as a road authority representative, as a road safety auditor, but I'm not giving you legal advice, just as my little disclaimer. I'm just talking to you about some of the things that have popped up in my 25 years or whatever it is associated with road safety auditing. Okay, so if we start here by talking about the possible issues for auditors. The first one up there is what we call a client-focused audit. And this is where, okay, I'll give you a little scenario. Maybe there's a big new hardware chain entering the Australian market, and they want to open up, 50 big box hardware stores around Australia over the next 5 years. And they are required to undertake road safety audits because that's part of the planning permits for the different jurisdictions as they access onto the public road network. And the auditor, they go and they find a road safety auditor or consultancy to audit, and they talk to the audit team and they say, all right, we don't want to spend any extra money here. We're happy to do some signs and lines changes, but that's it. And of course, if the audit team was to enter into that sort of discussion, there could be issues. Now, that being said, we're trying to help clients get safe outcomes. But, if you're really compromising the integrity of the audit in order to save their money or the like, that could be an issue. Inadequate brief. Well, the auditors aren't writing the audit brief. That's the client who does that. But if you're not given the information you need to be able to undertake an audit, and you don't ask for that information, that could be an issue. Certainly, there's a lot of the times when we undertake road safety audits that we just aren't given as much information as we'd like. Either it doesn't exist, or they're not providing it in the time we need to be able to get this done. You simply just note that in your audit and you make some assumptions. All right. But if you're not asking for critical things for that stage of audit, that could be an issue. Like any profession, misleading qualifications or experience could lead you into some issues. Not following the correct process. So not undertaking a daytime or nighttime inspection if they are agreed to as part of the audit brief or your proposal. Not visiting the site if that's agreed, and that should be almost all road safety audits. Visiting the site is such an important part of it. As I said, there's this very, very tiny little clause in Austroads to say that at a feasibility stage, there may be an exception from the site visit. But that's so very, rare, and it'd be just for a greenfield site. So that's like, a paddock, basically. And yeah, so then not following your own quality management processes as companies have, whatever you've got in place to ensure the quality of products you're producing. And then from that, legal sense, the courts hold everybody to a reasonable assessment, and reasonable plays out always in the courts as to what that is, and generally it's sort of seen as, would your peers have picked up these issues, or going through this process, would it be expected that somebody would have identified that? And it's always easy in hindsight, but as auditors, we're trying to predict these things so that there is understanding of that. So there's some of the issues from an auditor's perspective, and you will soon be road safety auditors. You'll certainly be auditing in teams, and you'll be having further mentoring from senior auditors as you get more experience, but there's a few things to have a think about. If we go to the other side and think about the customer, the client, the sponsor, the road authority, whatever it is, some possible legal issues there. We've got intentionally holding back information in the brief or in the information provided that could help an audit team identify issues or make reasonable judgments about the risk of that issue. So if you're saying, I'm not going to give that to the audit team because that's I don't want them to find that because it's really hard for us to fix. Well, that could be an issue. Requesting recommendations, or worse, is requesting recommendations be removed. So that erodes the independence of it. So certainly customers can flag things that they're concerned with, and that's not an issue because the audit team can certainly have a look at that and come up with their thoughts on it. So we're always open for that, but when it's saying, okay, thanks, I want you to remove these for findings and recommendations, that's not really appropriate. So then we talked a little bit about this, but the receiver of that audit report really has to respond to each of those recommendations. Don't have to actually do what the audit team says, but either accept it, reject it, defer it, meaning, hey, we don't have the funds to do that. We agree it's an issue, but we don't have any money to do anything about that. Well, you don't just close that off. Say, okay, now we've put that into a future program, or we've added that to the list of things we're going to try to get funding for in the future. Means of prioritization. Road safety audits are quite good at assisting in that they provide those risk ratings, so it gives you a bit of a means of prioritization. And a reasonable process. So again, that reasonable word appearing. So the courts will be wanting to ensure that any organisation commissioning road safety audits does it in this reasonable process. And the common ones we see that are a bit ad hoc are when there's like a local government, for example, does road safety audits, but doesn't seem to have any rhyme or reason as to when and where they're done and on which projects they're done. And so that could be an issue. The courts, they understand very, very well lack of resources. They're very good at saying, yeah, we know there's not enough money out there, not enough people out there to do everything we would like. But what they're not okay with is just ad hoc random application. They just want to see some sort of documented process. It could be as simple as saying any capital works project over $500,000 that interfaces with a road, a street, a path will be subject to one road safety audit or something like that. It could be as simple as that, but they will go, okay, I see why that Splitter Island didn't get a road safety audit, because your policy and your process says that it's not a big enough project with enough risk to do it. And that will cover you nicely. So there's a few things to have a think about from both the auditor perspective and the client perspective. So happy to take any questions either in the chat, or we're in the position now where you can simply unmute yourself and ask a question if you do have one around legal liability, around that process of auditing. And then I'll tell you a little bit about the accreditation of auditors in the different jurisdictions. I'll just pause and see if anybody wanted to ask a question. Okay, well, do pop them into the chat as we go. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit about road safety audit accreditation. Don't forget to count your wallies as well. Last chance to see a few wallies in the wild. So in the learning management system, I've put this A4 sheet, which tries to go through each state and their current accreditation requirements. It varies state by state, but I'll talk you through a few of them, and then we'll jump straight into their websites. But this idea is you will, once you put in your audit report, you finish the quizzes, you get over 80% on that audit, or you resubmit it, you get 80% on over 80% on your second attempt, or whatever it is, you're going to get a certificate. It says you have successfully completed a road safety audit course. And that doesn't actually make you a road safety auditor in these jurisdictions until you upload that certificate and lodge your information with the government of that jurisdiction. If you're in New Zealand, though, that certificate itself, you can call yourself a road safety auditor. But there are these registers that the government agencies keep. So Department of Transport in Victoria, Transport and Main Roads in Queensland, DIT in South Australia, Transport for New South Wales in New South Wales. Tasmania doesn't have their own register. They say use the Victorian one. And Northern Territory just says we'll take anyone's. You're on any register, we'll accept that. And each has very slightly different requirements to actually giving you that road safety auditor accreditation. So I will jump you through the specifics of those in a minute, but you can see some of them there. So there's the road safety auditor accreditation, there's senior auditor accreditation, and in New South Wales, there's level 1, 2, and 3. Now, you can see there's usually some minimum professional experience required. Victoria and South Australia are sort of saying, we're happy for road safety auditors to start their journey out without any professional experience. But to be a senior auditor, you need 5 years experience. Queensland wants the road safety auditors themselves to have a 5 years experience. And then you can see there, a senior road safety auditor, that's the one that leads the team, needs to have done a certain number of audits, 5 in both these or in these 3 jurisdictions, and sort of keep up that competency by doing at least 1 audit per year. So I talked about road safety auditors and senior road safety auditors, and your audit team needs to be led by a senior road safety auditor, and it could be just 2 senior road safety auditors. One of them will be the lead, and the other will be the part of the audit team. Or you might have 1 senior auditor and lots of auditors, and the auditors are getting experience. They're doing a lot of the work. Usually the senior auditor is guiding them, helping them, and they're able to then gain that experience. So as I mentioned, you need to do an accepted course in these jurisdictions, and this course is accepted in Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, and Northern Territory and Tasmania, and New Zealand, actually, should you want to jump over there and do some auditing, but not Western Australia. They've got a different system that they do. So you need to do the course, and you need to have, just generally some experience in road safety engineering, road design, traffic management, or road user behavior. And seeing where you're all working and have come from, you meet that requirement for the that minimum experience. To elevate up to senior status, there's that extra requirement of 5 years experience and 5 road safety audits undertaken with a senior auditor. And that can sometimes be a little bit of a challenge for people to get the opportunity to undertake 5 road safety audits. Some people, it's really easy. They work in a consultancy that does lots of road safety audits, and they just jump in and start joining these teams. A lot of the time, others, local governments or state governments, or people that work by themselves, can find it a little bit hard. I suggest you sort of reach out to other organizations that undertake road safety audits. And, if you're really keen to do this, volunteer your time to be part of audit teams, and you gain that experience. And most of the audit community are willing to take auditors where they can. Sometimes you just can't take extras for either logistical reasons or privacy reasons or the like. But most people are pretty willing to try and help out. Okay, let me just jump to another screen here, and I'll show you live some of the places you need to go to actually upload this certificate and information in order to get on that government register. So, Loretta, tell me if you're seeing.
Yep, can see that. Yes.
Great. Okay. So in this one, you can see this is the New South Wales Register of Road Safety Auditors, roadsafetyregister.com.au. And, I'm a company looking for an auditor. I'm an auditor looking for accreditation. So you really just follow these fairly simple prompts, and you're able to upload your information. And it's got other bits and pieces of information on here. And you can search for auditors, you can upload, and you can get information. So that's the Transport for New South Wales one. The DIT one, the Department of Infrastructure and Transport South Australia, it's on the DIT website. It's under the pre-qualification for infrastructure and transport page, and is right down the bottom. We go all the way down to the bottom, and you can see here that we've got pre-qualification of road safety or safe system assessment auditors and restricted vehicle route assessors. So you can see there that you've got a button here to register or guidelines for the application of maintenance. They only actually publish the senior list. They'll keep another list of auditors, but usually people jump onto another jurisdiction's one as a road safety auditor. And then when they've got that experience, they jump on and they get this assessment. Safe system assessors, that's a different one, and heavy vehicle route assessors. And you've got some other things that you'd have to do, different course, which we offer on the safe system assessment one, which some of you might have done already. So that's that one. And the Department of Transport and Main Roads, TMR, in Queensland, this is in the road safety auditors section. You can see here the forms are there that you've got to fill out. So registration maintenance form, registration application form. So you fill out your information in that. And then they list the road safety auditors first. You can see the list of auditors here, and that goes on. Nice to see a good few there. There's pages of them, which is wonderful. How many have we got? 196 auditors. Wonderful. And then senior auditors here. And you can see the senior auditors are listed there. Am I on this list? Yeah, I am. And there you go. 258 are the senior auditors. So good few in Queensland, which is good. So those are the three. Usually there was, I would show the Victorian one, but, and that's, it used to be a website, vrsa.com.au, a bit like the New South Wales one. That's currently down at the moment, and they are just changing the way they do that in Victoria. So currently in Victoria, there is no register live. So we will, as soon as they reignite something, we will let you know. We will be emailing you that. For now, you simply have a certificate of successful completion that you'd be able to show in Victoria, but it is within the next, couple of weeks. They're going to have a system, which I think is just going to be very simple, simply a published list, and you'll email through what the requirements, which will be the certificate, and then they'll just add you to the list. But we will absolutely keep you informed of that as things progress. Okay. I'll just check if there's any questions. Anybody got any questions associated with either, your audit that you're currently doing, road safety auditing in general, the accreditation requirements, the process? Either type it into the chat or feel free to unmute yourself and just ask your question.
Hope everyone's still with us.
Yeah.
Quiet group.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Well, Loretta, what I'll do is while they just ponder if there's any final things they want to get their head around, I'll ask that you take us into the learning management system and show people how to finish the course off. And then I'll do a final little wrap up.
Okay, sounds good. You can see my screen there?
Yes, in the learning management system, module 5.
Thank you. Thank you. We are at module 5. So this is the last module for the course. So there is a quiz today. So ensure that you're clicking on the quiz. I know you've done a few already. So please complete that. In order to pass, of course, you need the 8 out of 10 or 80%. So ensure that you're completing that quiz. So that's all you need to do for module 5. After that, so you need to ensure that you're completing the feedback. So the course feedback, because we always say all feedback is good feedback. I know, you wrote a few things this morning in the chat. So thank you for that. But if you could also fill out this form, because you do need to fill out the form in order to get your certificate. So once you click on course feedback, you fill out that survey. So attempt those questions. Obviously, you're not marked on this part, but you do need to fill it out. And then once you've done all your quizzes successfully, you've completed your research topic assignment and your final audit assessment. Once that's all completed and successful, you will then have access to download your certificate. So that's when, you can download the certificate and use that to register. And then one more thing, if you did want to share what you have completed with us, of course, it is important what you have done throughout this course and what you have learnt. And we would love for you to share that, share that with the community, share that with your social networks. And we've made it a little bit easier for you as well. So we've created little badges to kind of, get your network's attention. But if you click on here where it says click here, it'll take you to a page where it'll just pop up now. So you can find what you have completed. So we'll go road safety audit. So once you click on here, it'll take you to this section and you can share it depending on where you would like to share it. So if it's on LinkedIn, of course, you click on here and that'll take you to LinkedIn. Please tag us if you are posting something, because then we, might repost and make mention. And you can also use the templates here, some words if you wanted to, copy and paste. We just thought we'll make it easy for you so you don't have to think about, why why you've done the course. That's all sort of there for you. So that's pretty much all you need to do to complete the course. And of course, the Module 4 assignment. So remembering to complete that and, ensure that you're going through the SWIMS documents as well. And that's pretty much the end of the course. Once you've completed everything and submitted that would be it. Anything else you would like me to add there, Ken?
No, you've done well. I mean, I suppose just maybe pointing in the resource section
Yeah.
that sheet was just
Yeah.
we had those wonderful research assignments that everybody did, and people talked about. We did have some comments here. It'd be interesting to know about some of those. So there's a big sheet with lots and lots of little issues, and you could click on any one and it'd take you to a little bit of information about that topic if you wanted to know about it. So that's in there. Lots of other resources, obviously. So exactly as Loretta said, you're going to have to finish all the quizzes. Make sure you've done all of those. You're going to need to finish your audit assignment, upload it, and then it will get marked. And as soon as it gets the thumbs up from the markers that it's over that 80%, you'll be able to do the feedback form and your certificate will magically release. We'll also get a little note to say, yep, they're good. So send them the prizes, unleash the prizes on them, which will be posted to anybody who has received prizes throughout the course.
I might just answer one of the questions there, and then there's one there for you as well.
Yep.
So the time frame for marking, the audit. So for the Module 4 assignment, to complete your mock audit, it is due on the 20th of June. And then we usually sort of, allow our graders to go through them, the following week. But if you need an extension, let me know. That's totally fine. Just send me an email at training, and we can give you an extension if you need that.
Yeah, so our markers are usually fairly efficient, about a week to allow on that, and for some feedback. And certainly, even if you get above 80%, you'll still get some feedback on your audit, on things that you could possibly improve for future ones you do. Okay, question in there. Is there any possibility to be registered as a road safety auditor out of Australia? So certainly there's a lot of opportunity there. So one being that the certificate from this course, even if you're outside Australia, you could register on the Australian registers. So Queensland, New South Wales, South Australia, you can register even if you're located in other places. So that's one option. A number of countries around the world simply just ask that you have a certificate. So there's not a listed register as such. And so this certificate has been used and accepted in a number of countries quite a number of countries around the world for road safety audits. There are a number of different registers emerging around the world. There's certainly a Canadian Register of Road Safety Auditors, and this certificate and this course is accepted by them. The US doesn't have one in particular. Again, it's just have you completed a course. There's a UK register. Now, this course does not qualify you for that. If you want to get on the UK register, you've got to do an 11-day in-person course in the UK. So there's a bit of a commitment there. So there's a few different options available. The IRF, the International Road Federation, the US-based one, has a what they call a lead auditor list. That is a small list of people that have gone through extra training and extra qualifications, and they only publish that, not just for the audit team. So hopefully that answers a few of those questions. Of course, happy to elaborate further if you've got a particular question or the like, and you can always email me. Okay, well, I want to take this opportunity to thank Loretta and team for the work behind the scenes, making this all happen, and sending you your welcome packs, and making sure you could log in, and make sure the learning management system was up to date and facilitating. So thank you, Loretta and team. And I want to thank everyone that has been part of the course, all of yourselves, because it's super busy time of the year, and we're all got huge to-do lists, and to take time out to learn a new process is always a challenge from that time perspective. But I really do feel that this is a worthwhile thing to do. Anything we can do to lessen the number of people killed and seriously injured on the road network is something we should be really progressing and going for. And this is a proven process that can lessen that risk. So well done to all of you on making that commitment. I am really keen that you get out there and you start doing audits, or you start being part of audit teams. So yeah, do share with people online, if you're on social media and the like, that you've completed the course. And as Loretta showed, we've got some words for you there, and we've got badges and things that you can put up. We want people to know you're available to help. We'll share that. And of course, as you get out there and you're starting to audit, if you've got questions, we're still available to help you with those. You've got my contact details. You've got Safe System Solutions contact details. Shoot us a question. If we can help out in any way we can, connect you with people, we're always happy to do that. And yeah, we've got lots and lots of information that we can share depending on what challenges you're facing. So please do reach out. And it is really important that us as professionals managing, designing, operating public road systems do everything we can to protect the community. It is so important that we take this seriously, and auditing is a great way to do it. So congratulations again on going through the course. So finish off your assignments, finish off the things in the learning management system. Of course, contact training@safesystemsolutions.com.au if you have any challenges, you want some one-on-one coaching, some help to get through the course. If you need an extension, shoot an email through to that as well. We know it's coming up to end of financial year. People are running around like headless chooks. So keep in contact. Otherwise, thank you very much. Get out there, do some audits, and save some lives.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.